Hello all and welcome to another Kevin Entertainment video. It's time for a feature premiere reacts for MLB 24, the show. This is covering the February 22nd feature premiere with storylines the Captain Derek Jeter. I think I'm going to cover a lot of things in this. First of all, we're not going to get more feature premieres until March 7th, so it'll show up on this channel on March 8th again. And then we'll get a lot in March, so be ready for probably one a week in March until, like, I think it is the 15th or 16th. But just be ready for a lot of videos for MLB 24 to show. Now, getting into storylines with Derek Jeter, I like the aesthetic that they showed off. I like the subway aesthetic. The fact to get in the mode, it's a subway pass. I like that a lot. I like that we're going to get new legends like Andy Pettitte, like they're bringing back Mariano Rivera, Joey Davis, Bernie Williams is going to be in it. So it's not only going to be Derek Jeter, but also players and teammates and all that was influential to his career. So it's his story, but told from many perspectives. I liked the subway thing. I think I'm going to love the videos that they make for it. I like that they actually showed actual gameplay and gameplay mechanics. And then we're going to get to play in the field. And to play in the field, it's going to be a lot easier, I think, throwing method. A little bit more difficult at first, because it's going to be button-based from the looks of it. At least the one they showed on stream during the feature premiere was button-based. So hopefully it's going to be button-based, but I'm sure the show is going to have a way that you can turn it back to the way it was with the thumbsticks and all that. But I never liked that. I found that hard. I think button-based is going to be better for me. I'm certainly going to try it out and see which one I feel more comfortable with. That's definitely going to be a thing. That's definitely going to be the case. Now, I already said that I liked the fact that we're getting modern player storylines along with the Negro Leagues Season 2 storylines. Love that, enjoy that, and all on board for that. And I love that they're kind of slow pacing the content so that storylines isn't just dropped on day one and then it's done. Because when it's dropped on day one and it's done kind of thing, it gets done so fast and you rush through it and you get it done just to get the Diamond Dynasty cards, and then it's like you're done, and the people that worked all through that mode, you blow through the content in like a day. I know that happened with me last year with storylines. I finished it in 2 days, and while it was still memorable, I still talked about it. I still loved it. I thought it was educational. I thought it was enlightening, and I thought it was inspiring. So they hit their mission statement. I also thought that you blew by it and you never ever touched it again. That being said, there are a few things more that I want to touch on. We know we're getting a brand new stadium. We're getting Seattle's Kingdome. Yes, the Kingdome that was torn down. The Kingdome that was famous for Ken Griffey Jr. We're getting the Kingdome finally in the game. Not a Seattle Mariners fan, as everybody always knows. I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan. But I'm also a baseball fan, so I can appreciate the Captain Mode, and I can appreciate putting the Kingdome in, because more stadiums to play in. Now, let's be honest here. Online, you're going to play with probably last year it was Ship It, 23 it was Shieldwoods, so you're going to play with the high elevation stadiums, which the Kingdome was not. But you're going to play with the high elevation stadiums, and that's just what's going to happen. So, but I'm excited for storylines. I'm excited to see. I know on March 7th we get the roster reveal, and we get the ratings reveal. And we get another feature premiere on top of that. So the ratings reveal starts at 1 p.m. Pacific, which is like, or 11 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 p.m. Central my time. And then I get at 5 p.m. Central, we get another feature premiere, so double feature premiere day on the 7th. But I like the fact that Derek Jeter was on board. I like the fact that it's going to feel like New York. I thought that they went too long into like the Easter egg things. I understood that they didn't want to spoil it, but they could have also said, oh, and here's the players we're working on. Because honestly, I would like to see storylines be a mode that, okay, Derek Jeter comes out in month 1. So you've got on launch day, you've got the drop. Then 2 weeks later, you've got the final part of his drop. Then maybe in May, you do David Ortiz. First part of the month, you drop the first half. Second part of the month, you drop the second half. Then maybe you do like a Bob Gibson. First part of the month, you drop that one. Second part of the month, because I think storylines, for it to be viable, has to be an ongoing feature throughout the game. Because let's be honest, even though they're slowly drip feeding the content to us, like, we're still going to be done with it pretty early on in the game's life cycle. Probably 1 month after the game is out, storylines will be done. I would like to see them breathe life into storylines and have storylines be an all year thing. And I think that they really, really need to work on that. And I know these storylines, for them to be as good as they can be, need to be researched and well videoed and all this. And it needs to be kind of... But I can honestly see them doing it. Like, because if you can do a lot of content for Diamond Dynasty, do content for storylines too. Have 2 parts of the game be breathable and viable. That's what I would like to see. I don't care what the ratings are. I don't care what new legends they have. I know I'm going to be over the moon for them. One legend I would like to see in the game would be maybe a Scott Rowland, since he just recently went in the Hall of Fame. I'd like to see eventually Albert Pujols and Yadier Molina and Buster Posey and all that come back in the game, because they left in their respective years. I'd like to eventually see Miguel Cabrera come back. I'd like to potentially see Barry Bonds, but I know that's a Barry Bonds issue, because Barry needs to be Barry and do Barry things, which is weird. Because he can't ever just go along with the MLBPA. It has to be his own deal. So that may be a hard thing to do. But I'd like to see more legends. I'd like to see maybe a Ted Simmons, maybe a Roger Clemens I could see in there. There's a lot of legends you could put in the game that aren't in the game. So those are my guesses for what we're going to see, but I can't wait for storylines. I'm just hoping they don't just drop the 1 month of storylines and then storylines is dead. I would like to see storylines be a more consistent, even if they did, okay, first half of the year we're doing these 3 storylines, second half of the year we're doing these 3 storylines. That's still 6 storylines instead of 2. And it keeps storylines as a viable mode. Now, yes, I know they want to push people to Diamond Dynasty, but you can push people to Diamond Dynasty through storylines, because you're going to have cards that are unlocked, like Andy Pettitte, like Bernie Williams, like Derek Jeter, like all that are going to be locked in story mode, in storylines, and make them damn good core cards because I'm assuming sets and seasons are back, even though we don't have words on that. I don't see them getting rid of the mechanic that quickly. Even though I think they need to horribly tweak the mechanic, I will say that. But I don't see them just getting rid of the mechanic, but I would like to see them make more parts of the game viable throughout the year, and storylines could very well easily mesh and intertwine with Diamond Dynasty. Now, yes, I know what everybody's going to say. Well, Diamond Dynasty is the live content mode, but why can't you have two? Because it's obvious to me that the live content Diamond Dynasty team and the storyline teams, even though there may be some cross-mogenation going on there, they seem to be separate teams. At least that's how they're treated, because, like, I think his name is Jason, the head storyline writer, is not on. Some of the art people may be on both. And okay, you can share artifacts, but how long does it take to create card art, really? I mean, let's be honest here. So that's my point, is I think that they need to make storylines a more long-lasting, viable addition. I'm not saying in its current form it's bad. I'm saying in its current format, even with the new format of your first half comes out in the first half of April, second half comes out in the second half of April, or whatever. I'm not saying that's terrible. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do that, then you need to have more storylines than just two. You need to have more players and storylines, and you need to keep storylines a viable option. But I'm very excited to see the videos and how they intertwine Major League Baseball audio and Major League Baseball game footage into Derek Jeter's storylines. I can't wait to play the Negro League Storyline Season 2. I just can't wait for the game to drop and experience all this. But I'm afraid that other than Diamond Dynasty, the storylines are going to be dead. So that's my one trepidation, if you will, is I think storylines itself, after a month in, is going to be a nothing burger. Because we all know that after you were done with season 1 of the Negro League storylines, it was a complete nothing burger. It was great to show people and be like, you gotta play through this when you get the game, but it was like 1 or 2 days worth of content and you were done. So that's my only trepidation, but I am excited. I'm glad we got to see gameplay. I like the way the graphics look. I like the way that the lower third looks. I am a little concerned that we never had a technical test, because since I believe 2016, MLB 16, we've had technical tests. This year, I was not made aware of any technical test, open beta, that kind of thing, because I've been in every single one since, and I was never made aware of one for this year. So that does a little bit scare me, if I'm going to be honest. What are they hiding behind that wall? Did they not change much? Did they not change anything? That's all going to be things that we experience on stream, and I experience when the game drops early for me, because I'll be playing it for a few days by myself on my PS5, kind of just getting grips with the game, so that when I do the review for you guys on the channel, you'll get my full, unadulterated, unfiltered thoughts as always. But before I gush on too long, this is where I tell you, I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And without further ado, because these are special videos. Now, next week, I can tell you, you're going to be getting special videos for the Nintendo Direct and the Xbox podcast that released on February 15th. You'll be getting those special videos at some point next week. Cannot tell you when, because I haven't watched either one of those yet. And I'm going to dive into those and get those done as quickly as I can, so that we can kind of feed ourselves content while we wait for the show to return on the 7th. But until next time, happy gaming. I'll see you again soon, and I can't wait to play ball. And peace.